Ooh, all right. Hopefully you can hear me. I'm just gonna do a walk around Second Life. This is for people with Firestorm, which is a lot of people. So mostly for new people. You might get something out of it if you've been around for a while, like me, but you still find things that you don't know, and you learn. I've I've still learned stuff. Like for instance, this is one. Go down the bottom here, your draw distance. You want to drop that down to not too far, about 120, and that'll help your your bandwidth. Up here, you see it's got your frames per second, 24 frames per second, and a little bit in the corner there where it's blipping up and down. That's your CPU usage. Right now, it's not too much because with draw distance. If I turn that right up, I'll turn it up to say 400, 440. There we go. And see if I can walk around. It just makes it a lot, but not too bad now that everything's drawn. But it's hard to turn left and right. Whoop. Yeah, see. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Stop. I'm not supposed to be going there. See how it's terrible. Now let's see if that changes. If I drop that draw distance down. 32 is a bit low. That'll do. 104, close enough. See if I can walk without crashing into things. It's a lot better. And again, it's your frames per second, but you don't need as many frames because before it was 440. Now it's look out, somebody there. It's one just over 100, so it's a lot smoother. Okay, I'll get out of here. Do 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 do. All right, and now you've got your inventory. Everyone knows the inventory, and you look at your landmarks. You got all these landmarks here. They just keep gathering in your inventory, and when you're trying to find something, look how far that goes. All right, what I've done, or what you can do, is you can grab one from here and stick it up there under your toolbar, and it goes there, and then it becomes one of your favorites. So I've got all my favorites here. They're all basically clubs that I play at. For instance, this one here is good. Pure Power Stream. I hope it's still there. Because they move, and then you end up falling out of the sky. Now, this is a good place to go for getting a stream if you're a DJ, or if you're a musician in Second Life. You can come in here and grab a stream. It's fairly cheap. I don't know which one I did. I think I did this one here. 32 lindens per week for that one. Yeah, that might be the one I do. So it's like 120 a month, something like that. You got higher ones, which are 192 kilobits per second. I don't think you need to do that much. 192 kilobits per second. You're not going to notice as a listener between that 192 and the 128. And 128 is still more than CD quality. CD quality is only 96 kilobits per second, so you probably only need to go 128, and that'll also stop you from getting dropouts and buffering when you're playing your music. So it's not always the best thing to have the highest kilobits per second, for instance, because you're putting it online. Your computer has to, and your internet has to be able to get that online. So the less info you're putting online, the better. My dog's barking. Okay, looking sounds pretty awesome, pretty easy, but looking's probably one of the big things that people get mixed up. Now, this is just looking, obviously, just behind your character, your avatar, and that's usually what you see when you're walking around. If you have your mouse and you scroll the wheel, that'll bring you into what's called mouse look or first person look. And you can still walk around, but what happens is when he walks left, instead of turning left, he just sort of shuffles to the left or shuffles to the right. And you use the mouse to direct you, basically. And then to get out of mouse look, you just roll the mouse wheel back. If you want to look at things like, say, someone's telling you that you're missing an arm or a leg, you just press the Alt key, and it brings out that little looking glass, and then you click on the left mouse button, and then you can scroll around and look. Make sure, see, like you can see on my shirt, there is actually, no, it looks like there's a bit missing there. So you know that you can fix things like that. Now, to fix things like that, I'll explain that in a minute. Now if you want to drop an object, I don't know if I'll be able to here because I don't know if I've got the group tag on. I've taken the tags off so that you wouldn't see it when I'm videoing. Let's see if I can put it back on. This is your main toolbar across here as well. So, for instance, a lot of new people won't have advanced or developer, which is a good thing because these things can stuff up your system. Best thing is if you're going to put advanced on, don't use developer at all. But advanced is good for things like Rebake Textures. So you can look at yourself. Hello. Well, they didn't do anything. But normally if you've got like arms or legs missing because you've changed outfits, you can click Rebake Textures and it'll bring up the missing arms or legs. This is where your draw distance and everything is as well. So you got them here, but they're also in here. But obviously this is easier to find them just down here. And you can change the local sun just by doing that. Or you can actually have your daytime. Oh my god. Oy vey. Look at all that. Don't do that. Don't even play with that one because you're just going to get confused. You just do the Regent's wind light and that'll just give you whatever their light is, or you can come up into world and go sun position and say change it to midnight or midday, whatever you want to do. Okay. Avatar health. Okay, here we go. So now if you get stuck in a dance and you want to get out of it, you can just click the stop animation. That also stops this, so you need to turn it off and turn it back on. And he'll go back into his standing position. But that's handy if you ever get stuck and you're someone's giving you a dance and you're stuck doing the dance and you can't stop and you've TP'd out of there and you're still doing it. Just go there and stop and avatar animations. This one's undeformed. That's if you've gone weird for some reason. Usually it's because you've gone and clicked something you shouldn't have. Where is it? This is handy if you're a DJ or a performer and you're having a gig or a show and people are tipping you, you can see the names come up as they tip you, and you can thank them individually rather than just going thanks to whoever sent me a tip. Okay, this here is your sound. So you got your master volume, buttons, ambient. I turn buttons off because you don't want to hear them all the time. Ambient sounds down. That's just like birds singing or whatever. Sound effects. Hear cricket chirping. I turn those down. If I'm doing a show, I'll turn down the streaming music when I remember. Otherwise I forget. And I should turn down voice chat as well, but I forget that as well. And then people start talking. It's annoying. But you can have those up for now. And leave those up. And it's only if you're doing a show. They're also up here. You got the same thing. If you don't even need to click. Don't click on the speaker. If you click on that speaker, it turns everything off on your computer. Just hover over it, and it brings up the same menu for your sounds. Of course, you can just turn those off individually if you like. I've noticed over the years since I've had this computer that these sliders I've slowly gone down. I did have it on like high, and all it did was just start out great when my computer was new, and as the computer got older, it just got worse and worse. So you're better off not being too clever and just keeping your... So that's high. Is that high? That's high there. You can see it just gives you more shadows, reflections, etc. But keep it down if you can. Depends on what you want to look at, because you get pretty much the same thing, but you're not going to load up your CPU, and your frames per second aren't going to be affected. So you want to bring out an object. You go into your inventory and you look for objects, or for me, what I'll do is I'll bring out I'll go into Lost and Found. I know my tip jars are in there, and you bring it out. It's the same thing. Basically, Lost and Found is where you would put Lost and Found is where you would put your stuff would go back to if you put something out at a club or somewhere, and then you leave, and you forget to put the thing away. They'll send it back to you, and it'll end up in your Lost and Found folder, like mine has here, as you can see. Now, what happens is, if, for instance, you see the tip jar, what's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times. If I just click that and go take, I now have it 8 times. If I bring it back out, and if I click take again, I'll end up with another one. So a better thing to do, if you keep getting that, if you haven't changed it at all, rather than take, click delete, and that will get rid of that instance of that object. And these ones will still be there. So if you haven't edited the object and you don't want it back in your folder, just click delete. It'd be nice if it kept giving me $100, 100 lindens every time I took it out. No. It's worth a crack. Anyway. Okay. Now, as far as streaming goes, I use Butt Player. I'll show you on here on the board here. If you want to do karaoke or anything like that, rather than in voice, you can actually stream. You press start. That puts your name on the board. If there's 50 people there, you've got to wait your turn. So you click info and it gives you your stream. Sometimes they don't give you the stream because they don't want people um, hijacking the stream. So I won't show you the stream info, but you can get the stream info sometimes. Okay, so you'd open up Butt Player, and then you go into settings. You want to add, put the club's name there, their address, and then their port number and their password, which would be in the info that they send you. And then you click add. And then you press save settings, and then it's all set up ready for you to stream. And then you just press play, and you start streaming. Okay, I've already got a video on how to stream with Butt Player, so if you want to have a look at that, you can, because I'll show you how to record as well, and play and record at the same time. Okay, so I won't worry about that one. That's already done on another video. If you want to have a look, it'll be in my videos. Now clothes. You've got your clothes in your inventory, which is here. Stacks and stacks of clothes. What I've done is I've actually put folders. So like you got your mesh clothes. I haven't finished this yet. Hair, costumes, classic avatars. Like you can have costumes, classic avatar clothes. I haven't finished filling those up. That's why all these folders are still here. But it just means that you can get these down to a reasonable size rather than having big long menus. Like that's it for my inventory right there. Oops. And within that you've got objects, which is heaps, and all of a sudden you've got heaps. And things like photos, textures, which is photos that other people send you, and clothing, of course. And what happens is it fills up your inventory, and people go, "Oh, I've got so much inventory." See, now if I grab that and put that into clothing, then it just makes this inventory lists a lot smaller. So you're not scrolling up and down all day. So I got cars in there, just more stuff. I still haven't finished. I don't think you really ever finish doing your thing like this. Music gear, because I've got guitars and HUDs for guitars, etc. Things for zoo, which is from a tip jar, and gestures, etc. So yeah, it's just easier to put them into folders, so you don't have to scroll through here so much. You know, if you want a music gear, you can go into here. If you want clothes, you can go into here. Now, as far as clothes go, rather than going through here and changing each thing individually, what you can do is create outfits, as in not make clothes, but as in put the clothes on, and then once, say like here he's wearing these clothes, once the clothes are on, you can go into here and you can create an outfit with those clothes. And the way to do that is you put all the clothes on, you'll stand there, you got all the clothes on, you can see all here, all the things he's got on, and oh damn it, shouldn't have done that. And you got all the stuff he's wearing. You just press save as, and that will save this outfit as an outfit rather than individual items in the folder. And then if you want to change clothes, let me just fix that up while I'm here. Then when you want to change clothes, let me just I'll just leave that. All right. So then when you want to change clothes, and you don't want to be wearing this lot, you can just click on another lot of clothes and say wear or replace, and you got the new clothes on. You want to have that HUD up with every outfit, because what happens is you put the outfit on and you see that you've got your arms are showing through, because the HUD still thinks that your arms are supposed to be showing. So what you can do, I've saved them down here. You can see the different outfits. See, look at his arms. Right. I know this one, what I've done is I've gone basically nearly naked right up to fully clothed. And this is fully clothed here, so I press apply and boom. He's now, except for that, I don't know what that is. I think that's the other outfit. So I think he's still got stuff wrong. Good old Second Life. Anyway, so that's your outfits right there. Actually, I think maybe if I go there and there, so you can adjust things. Right, and there you go. He's wearing and then you can actually just get rid of that. And then next time when you change clothes, what I've done is every outfit has the HUD on it, everyone that I've remembered. So, for instance, if I go, all right, we'll put on this, wear and replace current outfit. So it'll take off that one, and it'll put on the other one. Oh, I'm still half asleep. Takes a while to happen. See, now he's still got the HUD for the suit on. Sometimes it does recognise what you're wearing, and it will actually change for you. But in situations like this, you can, because I've saved the different outfits, I can just go like that and press apply. Done. So I had to go through basically, like with this one, I had to go in here and take off all the alpha for all that, and just have the alpha for the pants. And then he's got the clothes on, and you can see the skin where it's supposed to be seen. And then if he goes back to say that one there, which is the one he was wearing to begin with, just wait for that's what I look like in real life, except for all the muscles, and I'm older, and the clothes and the height. Aside from that, identical. And I know here I can find the outfit that best suits. That's that one there, which I think I need to change the arms on. And that's it. Now here I notice there's skin showing. So you can adjust it even while you're wearing it. There you go. Done. And he's wearing an outfit. Needs adjusting. I'll adjust that later on. But yeah, I should have those covered up as well. I just think there's another shirt that's a little bit more open that might need that. I don't know. I'll have a look later on. Now, if you want to fly, I know a lot of people fly these days. I could be wrong. But if you notice, you walk around, mostly people just TP to where they're going, and then walk. Now you see here you've got this little walking man. This gives you your walking, so you can go like that or like that, rather than using the mouse, the keyboard. I don't know what that is. Oh, fly. Okay. But you have to actually press fly. See, at the moment he's still walking, so all he's doing there is jumping. If you want to fly, you just click fly, and then you can fly up. And then you can use your mouse key, your keyboard as normal, and just fly around. Now you see how it's all green? It may be, yeah, see, building, it's because the draw distance is low, which makes it easier to walk around, but you cannot see off into the distance as much. All you see is just green. but there is actually buildings and things. Not sure. See how it starts loading up as you get closer. And that's just makes it easier to move around, because if you have it too high, then you tend to crash a lot. Not crash so much, but I'm just reading the thing at the same time. Not so much crash, but it's glitchy, and you're missing a lot of frames. So best to have the frame rate down if you can. I'll get rid of the close. I'll get rid of that. And get rid of that, and that bumps up your frame rate from, it was 25, went up to 37, because it takes up a lot of particles, a lot of CPU usage. So I'm afraid at 40 frames per second now, which is awesome. And of course, when you start moving around, it starts adding buildings and things, the frame rate drops because it's doing a lot of work. And I'm also videoing too, which takes a lot of the CPU usage. So I have no idea where I was. I think I was here. I think. Let me check. Don't want to land on someone's house. There you go.
¿No me escucha?
Better not get involved in their little tete-a-tete. Yeah, so that's flying. I'll go somewhere else. So I'll look at my saved landmarks. No strings is not there anymore, so if I go there, it should just be empty land. And when you go somewhere else, you end up pretty much, you're still flying, but you'll end up on the ground. You won't be way up in the air like that. Okay.
Okay.
Well, I don't know which side I'm not supposed to be on. I'll get bounced.
I guess we could never be. Don't know why we try.
There you go. That was that side. I was on the wrong side. So whatever that was, that used to be a club. It's now. Now let me get rid of that. It's now somebody's house. So I am still flying quite high. I think I might get kicked out of there as well. Close it. Oh, it's Timo's place. Alright. I think that's his personal house. Yep. So I'll go somewhere else. Otherwise I'll get kicked out. I'll go to karaoke. Here we go. Alright. There's somebody here, but she's asleep. Don't worry about that. Get rid of that. You have been teleported home by object land security. Oh, this is not my home, but anyway, that's fine. Stop flying. Yes. So you've got you'll find in your inventory you've got your gestures and your animations. You can dance if you want to dance. Of course, who dances like that? Seriously. But you can find some good animations. These are all just silly ones. Most of them are silly ones. Head bang. He's not banging his head. Bang your head. Nope. Okay, fine. Hear that. I don't know what any of these are. I don't really use them. There you go. Oy, 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 oy. So there's your yeah, animations. Usually end up collecting them off of people if you go to shows. Um, they have them. People send them out as gestures, or for instance, if I go to gestures, um, I send. Well, I don't send them, but like say a host or whoever might send out something like this, and I don't know what that is. Okay. Or for instance, applause, right? So I have that activated. So if I just do, if you watch down in the chat here, it's like / and A, and that brings up the app is not an app, it means applause. And you press enter, and you applause for whoever is singing. Just shortcuts for doing things. I don't know what half them are, so like I go. Oops. Did he clap? No. Okay. I thought maybe he claps. I'll try it again. Oops. No, he doesn't do nothing. So some of them are not that great. Oh, there we go. I think that's about everything. Showed you advanced. The pop-up menu in the corner here. Now your HUDs, that's like these things here. They're called HUDs. I use this one for walking around and for my stance because you see, as a newbie, he's just like he doesn't know how to walk. Alright, that's a newbie walk. But if you put in, say for instance, the animation, the AO, then you get a better stance and you get a better walk. Now I like this one because it's mostly for the stance because people basically stand around and talk or watch shows. Because this other one, all right. Like for instance, if I'm out here, away from the noise. See, at the moment I'm walking as a newbie, right? So you can buy these animations at, just look for animations in, you go down to this little looking glass here, that's your search. Go to, say, not events, you want to go to places maybe, and go animations. And that brings you up all the shops that'll have animations that you can buy. Some of them are for other things other than walking. But if you're just trying to find a walking animation or dance, if you want to dance, then you can get these. I think these are the ones I've got here, the Vista animations. And that gives you everything like dances, walking, everything. I haven't bought mine. Mine are like old, so they've probably got some newer ones, better walk, better dance, etc. But I use this one here because I'll turn that off. But I don't use it for standing because he tends to look at the walk for a start. It's like, what? It's yeah. I mean the water's not bad, but when you're standing still, he actually moves around a lot more. And I found that if you're standing there in a club or talking to people, um, rather than just standing still and talking to the people, he's walking around circles. He's bumping into things, bumping into people. See how he sort of, this isn't too bad actually right now, but he does. He turns right around, looks this way, and it's just like, what are you doing? So I don't use it. I don't use this one for walking or for standing. I use the top one. See, he just sort of, yeah. So I use this one for dancing though, which is pretty basic. It's like a dad dance, and he doesn't move around too much. Most of it's about not moving around too much, because what happens with a lot of people in clubs with their animations is they'll, like, if they're standing and talking, they will um, have an animation on where the person's walking around in circles or looking down, and it just looks like you're not paying attention. And or they got a dance hard that they're just flinging their arms and legs around and doing stupid stuff, and they're banging into people. So you're better off, especially in busy clubs, is to find an animation where if you're standing and talking, you're not walking around in circles and bumping into people. Or if you're dancing, you're sort of dancing on the same spot, which is what this is doing. That's what I found anyway, as a guy. Girls are probably the same. You don't want to be walking around in circles and bumping into people. Guys will think that you're coming onto them, so that's probably not a good thing. So that's your HUDs. There are more HUDs. That clothing HUD is a HUD as well. This mini map, you don't have to have that on. That's just handy to have so you can see other people in the area. If you want to have that, you go to World, down to here to mini map, and that brings that up. I like to have it up just up in the corner here in case I want to see if anyone else is there, or you can see who they are. See, it actually brings up their names. But it's not necessary, you can take that off. And to take that off, take this, get rid of this, you just click there. If you want to fly and not use that, you just press page up and page down on your keyboard, and that'll get you to fly and get you to land. I think I pretty much covered everything. I wanted to make this nice and long. There are other videos in my YouTube page that explain a lot of this in short detail, so you're not having to go through this whole big long. But this sort of gives you a good guide of what Second Life's about, what you can do. There's a lot more you can do. I just don't want to sort of go bang into people like there are people in the club singing right now. I don't want to sort of go and bug them. So someone's dog's barking. That's not mine. That's on sec. Now to get rid of that, if you got people's dogs barking, you just turn off voice, and now you won't hear the dog barking. In fact, you won't hear anything. Oops, I'm going the wrong way. See? Silence. But if I turn the voice back on, and they've probably stopped talking now. That'd be typical. Okay. They've stopped talking now anyway, but you get the idea. You heard them before when I walked through. Okay, and you'll see here, you can walk through rocks and trees because they are like ghost animations. But you can't walk through walls because they are proper prims. Like this, you probably won't be able to walk through. Nope, go around it. This is Elvira's club. Hello. Nobody here. Phantom of the Opera. I think that'll do for me anyway. I'm just walking around now being silly. So the curtains are ghost prims. You can walk right through those. All right, so there you go. I think that's a lot of stuff covered. If you have any other queries, I got a couple of other videos. They're just nice, short little ones. I'll edit this one into segments so that you can see each thing, and I'll put down in the description what each segment is so that you can see exactly what you can fast forward to each piece if you want to. And I think that's everything. I'm just checking my list. Streaming, yeah, inventory, yeah, clothes, outfits, landmarks, lost and found, gestures, animations, objects, looking, flying, the board, that's the board at the club, and butt player and advanced. Alright, that's it. Don't forget to like and subscribe, or don't, or unlike even, and comment.